Hello students, today I am going to start a new chapter, The Ruins of Vijayanagar. It's a story about our country, about the history of our country, rather the glorious past of our country. Vijayanagar was one of the eminent dynasty of our history. So let's start the chapter today, The Ruins of Vijayanagar. In the Bellary district of Mysore state, Mysore, Mysore is famous for Tipu Sultan and his palace. So, in the Bellary district of Mysore state, on the southern bank of the river Tungabhadra, you have heard about that river Tungabhadra, very beautiful name. So, just at the southern bank of this river, the state Mysore situated, lie the ruins of a great city. So the great city of Vijayanagar, its ruins. It was great in the past and its ruins lie at the bank of this river, at the southern bank of this river. The place is now called Hampi. The name of this place is now Hampi, but about 4 centuries ago, it was famous as Vijayanagar. About 4 centuries, that means 400 years ago, it was known as Vijayanagar, the city of victory. The meaning of Vijayanagar, the city of victory. It was the birthplace and capital of the empire of the same name. Hampi lies just below a hill. The ruins cover 9 square miles of rocky ground. So here is the periphery of the city, 9 square miles. Along the hillside, you can still see the remains of the city walls. So if we go there, we even notice today the ruins of the remnants which have been left there, which had been laid there. So we can notice them. Which once protected the place. The walls were built to protect the city. The deserted streets and the ruined temples and places of Vijayanagar lie in the area enclosed by the walls. So the walls were built to protect the city. So the entire city was enclosed by the wall. Some of the ruined buildings are still strikingly impressive because of their structure, their decorations maybe. There are broken pillars, gateways and other stone structures carved with great skill and beauty. So its beauty even it present today. Now turn the page number 102. The history of Vijayanagar begins in the reign of Alauddin Khilji. We are all familiar with this name, Alauddin Khilji, when his famous general Malik Kafur attacked Warangal. Alauddin Khilji attacked several times of the southern dynasties and the Rajputana. And Malik Kafur was one of his ministers, general rather. He attacked Warangal, it is in South India, a Hindu kingdom in South India. So Warangal was a Hindu kingdom in South India. Two brothers, Harihara and Bukka, laid the foundations of the new state in 1336 AD. Harihara, so it is very much informative. You have to learn this line very carefully because short questions may come from this line. So Harihara became its first ruler and on his death was succeeded by Bukka. The kingdom grew rapidly in wealth and power. So Vijayanagar was very much powerful. Within a short period, it expanded into an empire which spread over the greater part of southern India. So it spread its periphery. In ancient days, kings used to expand their kingdom by war or by mutual understandings. Several foreign visitors who came to Vijayanagar during its long history of over 200 years have left behind glowing descriptions of the splendor of the city and the greatness of its rulers. So some foreigners, they came to learn or study in our country. They were greatly impressed by the rich culture of our country, and that was the reason that they came here to study and notice the culture and heritage of our country, and they noted down the things which they have seen. So some we may name some foreigners like Yuan Sang, Fa Hien, Megasthenes. They came to our country and they wrote many books which are very much important in writing the history of that period. So like this one of this we have came to know about the greatness, about the splendor, grandeur of the city Vijayanagar. In 1442, the city was visited by an envoy from Central Asia. This was what he wrote about the place. So what did he read? What did he wrote? Sorry, what did he write in his book? There I saw a city exceedingly large and populous. So he was quite much impressed by seeing the city. So it was very large on that time, and on that ancient age it was very much a thing of wonder that how large a city there was built by such dynasty and a king of great power and dominion, whose kingdom extended from the borders of Sarandip to those of Kulbarga, and from Bengal to Malabar. So it was large, very large. The country is for the most part well cultivated and fertile. So the country was very much fertile, and the cultivation was very good on that time. And about 300 good seaports belong to it. Seaports, yes, seaports are very much important because business is based on those places. And it is seen that in ancient days we have some business connections with Middle East and Central Asia through these ports. If you read the history, you may know it. There are more than 1,000 elephants, lofty as the hills and gigantic as demons. So they in those period, elephants used to be very big. The army consists of 11 lakh men. So what a great army they possessed. The city is such that eye has not seen nor ear heard of any place resembling it upon the whole earth. So according to him, according to his writing, so this city was a great city, and he had not seen a city like this before, and he had traveled many places in the earth, and in wherever he had gone, he had never seen such a marvelous city like Vijayanagar. The most famous of Vijayanagar kings was Krishna Deva Raya. It's a South Indian kind of name, you know. So Krishna Deva Raya was the most famous king of Vijayanagar, who came to the throne in the beginning of the 16th century. 16th century, that means 1500 something. He was a great warrior, a patron of literature. He was a great warrior, and by this term we may frame something about him, that he had perhaps extended his kingdom by war. A patron of literature and a kind, gentle and generous king. So a good person, we may conclude. He not only added new territories to the empire, see what I have told you written here. So he had expanded his territory, the territories of his empire, but also constructed a large number of roads and buildings, temples and gateways. aqueducts and irrigation channels. So it may be due to these things, the cultivation was so much improved on that place for the benefit of his subjects. Praja, that means Praja. A Portuguese traveler who visited the capital during his reign described him as the most feared and perfect king. Feared, that means he was very much honored in his time, that could possibly be, and a great ruler and a man of much justice. So this kind of things we may apply to him. This kind of words, this kind of greatness, this kind of adjectives we may apply to his name, with his name. Okay, so he was a great personality. Vijayanagar had from the very beginning a powerful enemy in the Bahamani kingdom. So Bahamani kingdom was his enemy. Vijayanagar's enemy was Bahamani kingdom of Gulbarga, which had arisen about the same time in the north of the Deccan. So it was in the south. Vijayanagar was in the south part of the Deccan, and Bahamani was at the north part of the Deccan. Deccan, you know, the triangular part of our country, triangular lower part of our country, southern part. The two new kingdoms, one Hindu and the other Muslim, had constant wars with each other. They fought many bitter battles but without any decisive results. Then came a period when the Bahamani kingdom, torn by internal conflicts, was broken up into 5 separate states. So Bahamani kingdom was in a trouble, among which was the important state of Bijapur. Bijapur, this name is very important in history. We may find many kinds of incidents in regarding this place. In 1520, Krishna Deva Raya led his armies against the king of Bijapur and besieged the fortress of Raichur. So we have noticed some historical events here. You have to learn these lines carefully because of short question, as I have told you earlier. In the battle of that followed, he gained a great victory, which finally established the supreme power of Vijayanagar over the whole of South India. So Krishna Deva Raya was the great king, and he proved his greatness and his power over South India, and he expanded his kingdom a lot. But the decline and fall of Vijayanagar, certainly, when the reign of a kingdom was so high, it is destined to be fall. So destiny was with it. But the decline and fall of Vijayanagar began soon after Krishna Deva Raya's death. So he was so powerful king, and after his death there was no so much a good successor of him, as we can guess, and that is why his kingdom destructed. The states in the north of Deccan decided to sink their differences and join forces in a combined attack on the southern kingdom. The power behind the Vijayanagar throne at this time was the old and proud minister Rama Raya. He was old but proud, who raised a vast army to meet the enemy. After the death of Krishna Deva Raya, remember, he tried his best, but the invading forces were too strong and powerful. In the famous battle that took place in Talikota battle is very famous in history. You have to read it in history. In 1665, Ramaraya suffered a crushing defeat. He was defeated by those invaders. The next day, the city of Vijayanagar was sacked, and all the beautiful temples and palaces in it were destroyed. So how much cruel the invaders were. They not only captured the city, but also they destroyed the palaces, the temples and everything. So it was cruel indeed. The work of destruction was carried out with fire and sword, with crowbars and axes. So, what kind of massacre they had done with the city? Till within a very short time, this wonderful city was reduced to a heap of ruins. So, how much envious they, how much jealous they have destructed the whole city. Thus ended the mighty empire of Vijayanagar. So, students, this is one of the problem of our country from the very ancient days, that we don't have the integrity when the British didn't came to our country, and the kings of our country of different territories, they fought with each other, and don't they have no sense of unity between them. And if they were united, the things might have not been happened with us. The things like the British came to our country and they make us confined, and in this situation we have gone behind 200 years. So, thus ended the mighty empire of Vijayanagar, which flourished in South India for more than 2 centuries. When we look, so Vijayanagar, it shines, its glory was continuously was there for 2 centuries, only 200 years. When we look at the ruins of the empire at Hampi today, we are filled, Hampi, in that place there is a great chariot of Hampi, and it is very good to look at, and it is a historical place, and tourists go there to look over it, have a look of it. We are filled with awe and wonder, and at the same time with a feeling of profound sadness because the men of our country, they destructed this city. It is the city which was situated in our country also. So that is called indeed cruelty, that might have not been happened if we were been united. Okay, so our story ends here, and we will do the question answer later on. Okay, thank you for today.